Okay, so part two of Discord is done. I'm really upset by this, to be honest, because for years I've been pulling hard for Discord. I've always preferred it over Zoom. It just works better in every scenario. Like, I swear to God, every time I have to use a Zoom call, the first 20 to 30 minutes is just troubleshooting all the bullshit issues with it. And then half the time, it's a free Zoom call. So you need to run out of time and then start a whole new Zoom call for like just 10 minutes to finish the conversation. And it's bullshit. Zoom sucks. And Discord historically has been great, but they've recently gone down the whole enshittification process. And I saw this same thing with Evernote. I pulled for Evernote for years. I was like, yeah, they're just the best note taking app. And then all of a sudden they became the worst note taking app because they got greedy. I don't know if this is Discord essentially getting greedy, but it is Discord having no backbone, right? This all started because of the EU. The EU and the UK ruin everything. Why can't Brits just leave the rest of the world alone, right? They have privacy laws where, ironically, to protect your privacy, you need to give up your privacy. Uh, I saw screenshots today of people that live in the authoritarian tyrannical state of Europe that they can't even view the basic ads in a Star Wars role playing game I play. This is a PG-13 game, and the only ads in the game are in game ads for the faction. It's like the Income Corporation has little banners and whatever, and it's like that gets blocked by these privacy protection laws. This is just the most unhinged evil shit, and I don't understand why people tolerate it. For years I feel like I've been shouting into the void, wake the fuck up, people. But it seems like people are actually starting to wake up a little bit. There was recently exodus a mass exodus from TikTok that gives me hope. So I'm hoping we'll see a similar thing with Discord. Now, I am still using Discord because there isn't a better option. That's what I've seen the general consensus from most people right now on Twitter, on Discord itself. There are lots of people that are going back to IRC, but I used IRC a long, long time ago. In fact, that's what this Star Wars role playing game originally used primarily. And IRC sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great in some ways, but it's also just really a pain to use. It's not very user friendly. It's great for nerds, but the vast majority of people in the world aren't nerds. Normies aren't going to use IRC. They're just going to stick with Discord or Zoom or go back to Skype. I'm kidding, of course. I don't know if Skype even exists anymore. But looking at Skype and the whole issue with people leaving TikTok, it gives me hope. So I've actually been planning to create my own app to replace Discord for some time, mostly because I got sick of the basic enshittification, right? When it started having ads just to use the app, like they've got the little fucking pop-ups that it's like, hey, watch this video to get this thing that you only get to keep for 2 weeks, and then you have to watch another video to get a new thing that you only get to keep for 2 weeks. It's just like, no, thank you. I found a way to turn that shit off as fast as I could, I think. But the problem is all that's on by default, right? There It may not seem like much to most people, but it's the whole frog in boiling water. If you don't know what that is, if you take a frog and you just drop it in a pot of boiling water, it's going to jump out because it knows it's going to die. But if you slowly increase the water over time, the heat of the water over time, it's going to just stay there until it cooks to death. So that's what we have going on with the enshittification of the internet. Little by little, they are stripping away your right to privacy and just treating you like data cattle to be farmed for profit. And there's two reasons why I started working on this project in the back of my mind. One was because of the ads and stuff showing up, which I was like, oh, Discord's starting to enshitify itself. Chill, kitty. I'm busy. Uh, Discord's starting to enshitify itself. This is probably going the way Evernote went. Then I heard them announce that they're planning to go and become a publicly traded company. That almost always leads to massive enshittification. Why is that? The reason why is because publicly traded companies can't just be profitable. They need to be more profitable every year. So they intentionally do all kinds of shady things to keep the line going up. That's why Valve is the ultimate gaming marketplace. Because unless I'm mistaken, Valve is not a publicly traded company. It is not beholden to stockholders and a board of directors. It probably has a board of directors, but it's not random people that just bought into the company that are forcing it to increase its profits hand over fist every year. It just does what it does to be the best possible version of itself, right? So the moment I heard Discord was going to become a publicly traded company, I was like, oh, Discord is cooked when that happens. I'm going to start putting something on the back burner to work on. And now, then when I heard them caving to the EU data farming laws, I was like, oh boy, this is getting bad. And then exactly what I expected was going to happen. And they got hacked, and all that personal information they collected from you got stolen and is now on the internet for any random evildoer to take advantage of. This is why data privacy is so important, right? They pretend like they're doing it to protect the children, but do you really want some random hacker on the other side of the world to have all of your children's data as well as all of your data? I think the answer for any reasonable person is no. They just use fear mongering and lies. In reality, they want to collect your data because one, it makes you easier to control. Two, it is the most valuable thing in the world right now. That's why Facebook is free, because they just farm your data to sell to advertisers. Facebook literally uses you to do psychological experiments on you. It's actually been proven in their internal documents that have been brought out in court and stuff. So none of these big companies respect you or your privacy. And when they say they're doing it to protect the children, they're lying. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I would like it to take less than a month, but I'm really busy now working on all kinds of things. But I've decided to take my plan to build a Discord alternative off the back burner, and I'm cooking now. I will eventually crowdfund it, but there are steps I need to do first, right? I'm gonna found an LLC to be my software development company and all kinds of things like that. Uh, if anyone wants to help, let me know. Steeldrifter at proton.me is my business email address. So, yeah, I'm absolutely planning to build a new app to replace Discord. And I've got lots of plans. It's going to be privacy focused. Of course, we need to focus on a minimum viable product first. I estimate that's going to take around 200K, and that's going to be privacy focused with the ability to self-host, which is something that Discord won't let you do. A lot of people are going back to TeamSpeak, which is something we used back in the day in EVE Online, that has self-hosted servers. So you can do your entire conversation just directly connecting to someone else's PC instead of going through some online massive soulless corporation servers. Or you can even host it on a local network. Like if you're having a LAN party with your friends, you can get on voice comms and it doesn't need to go through the internet. Whereas with Discord, even if you're all playing Quake in the same basement, that's still going through Discord's online servers, right? So those are the two things I'm going to focus on to start. I don't want to give away all the features I'm planning because then someone else is going to steal my idea, right? But uh, eventually we'll work on a mobile app depending on how much funding. That's going to be one of the stretch goals and all that stuff. The main thing I want to do though is just create privacy focused, fully encrypted communication, because the world is going in a very dark direction right now. And the primary way they're doing that is by censoring communication and silencing free thought, right? I don't know if it's still true or if it was just a bug. It's probably not a bug. It's a feature that they're that they would have rolled back if the outlash was big enough. But apparently, I saw someone do this on video. You can't even DM people about Epstein on TikTok ever since the US has bought it. If they are censoring your DMs, that means they're reading your DMs too, right? So I want to create a software that doesn't do any of that bullshit, that just lets you talk with your friends and family without being constantly spied on, that's not going to require you upload your ID just to have a conversation about Star Wars and things like that. So if anyone wants to help, let me know. This is a short one because I've got work to do, a lot of work to do today. And if you have any questions or disagreements, please say so in the comments. I don't do as well as reading the comments as I would like, primarily because I'm just so busy right now. But I do my best to try and go through them at least once a month and reply to stuff. And sometimes a comment will pop up in my notifications on my phone and I'll say something about it in the next video. So please, let's keep the conversation going, right? I will put more information out there once I'm ready to talk about the specifics of the project I'm working on. I'm planning to let the community name it with some leeway, right? I've seen how these online naming competitions go, where something will win by a huge margin and it's just something ridiculously obnoxious or inappropriate. So I'm gonna hold final veto power and the final decision. But the plan is to let people who back through crowdfunding suggest names and vote on the name. And assuming it's not something that's just utterly reprehensible or ridiculous, we'll let the community decide what the app is going to be called to replace Discord, because Discord sucks. They've totally sold out, and I'm not having it, right? So I don't have as much time to work on it as I would like right now, but my plan is to hopefully be ready to launch the crowdfunding project by the time Discord is demanding everyone gives up their ID or submits to age verification via whatever version they end up doing it. And the thing is, even if they walk it back, it's too late. It's too late now because they've already revealed their intentions and their lack of backbone. They are just willing to bend over to these evil governments that just want to manipulate and control you. And we need an app that's not going to do that. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I am literally willing to die for this cause of freedom. And there aren't that many people left these days that are. Lots of people like to say they are, but then you watch them bend over and take it up the ass, especially in regards to like comedians getting big paychecks and stuff like that. I think it's so ironic to watch those comedians fold so quickly. But that's all I've got to say for today. I'm going to add uninstall Discord, even though I'm not ready with my new app yet, and it probably won't be ready for months unless there's just a viral crowdfunding explosion that happens. That would be fun, but the chances of that happening are like a fraction of a percentile, right? I have no delusions about the way this is likely to go, but if I get even 5,000 people to back it, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider the entirety of the internet and how many backers a lot of these startups get through crowdfunding, it's quite reasonable. If I get even 5,000 people to back it, it's probably a reality, depending on how much they donate. So if a locally hosted, potentially locally hosted, there would be the option for internet hosting as well. But if a privacy focused, locally hosted version of Discord is something that you are interested in, stay tuned, because I am absolutely working on that now whenever I have spare time to do so. Other than that, all I have to say is make sure you're armed and training. Delete Windows, de-Google yourself, uninstall Discord. I love all of you, and God bless America. Cheers.